Happy Halloween, everyone. I wanted to spend my Halloween working on my Hu Tao today in Genshin Impact, and what a better way to do that than here on Wu Wang Hill, where there are tons of spirits, and it definitely gives off that Halloween vibe. Hu Tao is one of my favorite 5-star characters in Genshin Impact, and it's almost nearly 2 years since I actually got her on my account. I summoned for her during her first ever rerun back in 2021, and I was very fortunate to get her. My Hu Tao is definitely no slouch, but I do want to try to make her build that much better. Earlier this year, I was able to get my first ever 5-star weapon from the weapon banner, and it was Staff of Homa. I was so lucky to actually get this since I wasn't guaranteed it, and ever since then my Hu Tao has just been even more broken. I run her on 4-piece Crimson, and my artifacts aren't that bad, honestly. I have a few flower options here, but the one I have on her right now is this one with some pretty decent crit damage and or crit rate. Elemental Mastery is lacking a little bit, but the attack percent is there. The feather's pretty good though. It has HP percent and flat HP, and then it has crit damage and crit rate. Now these two honestly could be a little bit better, but the crit damage and crit rate that I have on her right now is really not too bad. This piece I honestly substitute depending on if I want to use an on-set one, but this HP Sands is extremely broken, and even though it's not on set, I do have one for Crimson Witch, but this is one of my most broken artifacts on my account. But because of that, I do have to use an on-set Pyro Damage Goblet, and I don't really have any good one when it comes to this. I mean, this has HP and HP again, but it does only have 12% crit damage with a really ugly defense roll. And then my Circlet is a crit rate one with a little bit of crit damage there, some HP, and Elemental Mastery. Alternatively, I do have a crit damage one with crit rate, Elemental Mastery, and a little bit of HP, but because I'm using Staff of Homa, it makes sense to use a crit rate Circlet. I have her at C0, and I do have her talents quite leveled up, and these are what my Hu Tao stats look like: 66 crit rate and 235 crit damage with 39,000 HP. The Elemental Mastery is honestly where I'm slacking. I only have 56, which is not good for her if I'm using her for a Vaporize comp. If you've seen any of my Spiral of Abyss videos, you'll know this is the team I primarily use with my Hu Tao, Yelan, Xingqiu, Zhongli, and then Hu Tao there at the end. This is a really strong Vaporize comp for her, but you don't have to take my word for it. I can go ahead and show you, and I feel like this is not the best domain to be showing that off because Hu Tao is not going to be able to damage these enemies. That was actually some pretty decent amount of damage right there. Alright, let's see if they're going to give me some good luck here. This is a domain that a lot of people struggle with, and I can't say that I've had the same luck because my build is not too bad, so Crimson Witch has definitely treated me well in the past. Let's see if it will here. Attack percent, that's definitely not what we want for Hu Tao. Finally a Crimson Witch, and it is crit rate, but it is very bad. But I don't think I'm gonna get a better crit rate Circlet because 22 crit damage on the one that I have is actually pretty good. It's probably the best crit rate Circlet on my account that I have. That's a pretty bad feather and a very bad sand. That sucks. Why couldn't I get a feather like this on set? Why is it always the offset piece? That's rough to see. Crit damage and crit rate on there, even though that's pretty low rolls. I am getting quite a bit of sands, but they're offset. Like this HP one, that would be cool. Again, I don't know if I could replace my HP one. It's one of my best pieces on my whole account, but an onset Crimson Witch would definitely alleviate the goblet. This is a pretty trash flower too. Only attack percent, no crit rate, no crit damage, no HP either. There we go. 3 Crimson Witch pieces, and I think this was my last run as well, so let's see if the luck is finally here. That is a lot of HP, but no crit damage on there at all. I mean, I could still probably use this piece. We'll see. That one has nothing good for me. And an HP Circlet. That isn't what I meant when I wanted HP. I really didn't. Alright, here's hoping crit damage and a lot of crit rate rolls. The flat HP kind of sucks, but I'll still take it. Well, it did go into crit rate, but really energy recharge of all things. I mean, I got an HP roll as well, and then flat defense, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Last roll, crit rate. I went into defense. Yeah, that's a trash piece. Of course, why would I use that? And I already have one that has more crit rate, some crit damage, and HP. Yeah, that's tragic. It could have had crit damage on it. We still have the sands though, which could be promising. It did go into crit rate, and we do have 63 Elemental Mastery. Okay. If this goes into crit rate, I might actually consider using it genuinely, because the Elemental Mastery is definitely something that I'm lacking on, to where the crit damage not being there is something that I'm okay with. I went into EM again. I don't think I can justify switching it. This piece is just too broken as it is. Also throw this on, my Hu Tao's crit rate would go down significantly, which I don't think the Elemental Mastery justifies that. Yeah, 55, 200, even though I would have 135 EM, just doesn't cut it. What I could do, however, is I could take off the onset pyro damage goblet that I have over here and switch to an offset. And this is the one that I actually previously had on my Hu Tao. This is an extremely great piece for her, and it might actually make up for what I just had, because the damage goblet I have right now has no crit rate. It does have decent amounts of HP. But let's switch to that, and now let's see what my stats look like. 66, 222 with 135 elemental mastery. I think that this might actually be a better option, because although my crit damage went down like 17%, having more elemental mastery is probably a better option, but I'll have to let you guys decide on that. So let's see how much my Hu Tao will do now with the increased elemental mastery. I think her vaporize damage will be more or less the same, just because I'm losing out on a little bit of crit damage, but maybe it will be higher. Wow, his health bar got absolutely deleted. 178k, so it's more or less the same as my other damage output, but I think once I increase my ult to at least 8, but I do want to get it crowned that it will hit well over 200,000 damage. That's gonna have to do it. Unfortunately, I did not find the pieces that I was looking for, but what can you expect when you're grinding a domain, especially one like Crimson Witch, which has notoriously had a lot of bad luck for people. I do think I walked away with a valuable upgrade, because a lot of you have been telling me in the past as well that I needed more elemental mastery on my Hu Tao, especially for a vaporized comp. It just makes sense. But I hope you guys have a happy Halloween, stay safe, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.